Talking Leeds podcast with Arron Marshall and George Brooke.
Good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and welcome to Talking Leeds. It's me, George, ready for you this evening, live on YouTube and all the rest. We're talking about we haven't been on for a couple of weeks, have we? So we're talking about the events what have happened in the last week. So what a time it is that it's gone away from Fark out to Fark in. What are you? Let me know. Two people watching. Welcome along. We have Mr. Arron Marshall somewhere in the UK at the moment. He is travelling. He will come in and out. But good evening to you, Jimbo. How are you? And how are you feeling about the current situation in Leeds? Obviously, we were very much. I think Arron was very much as well a sort of a Fark out man, but he did change his tune very quickly after the City game, I would say. And I myself am a Fark in right now, but I do have to caveat this with, will we get anything from Brentford at all? If we do, I'll be completely away from Mr. Fark. I'm not bad-mouthing him. I will say absolutely fabulous. Well done to him and the changes that he made, the little tweaks that he did to the team in the last couple of home games has certainly bought himself some time. But for me, I think that if we get something, Brentford is the real key. If we get anything from Brentford, then I think we're doing all right. If we lose the game at Brentford, it's a little bit like, well, we're back to square one. That's how I feel about it, because, and Jimbo delighted. I'm not surprised. It's amazing how little changes made such a change it has. Just a tweak in formation, and that's all it needed. Really, we could see it. We were screaming for it. A lot of the fan base was change the formation. As I can see Arron here. Arron's down in the drinks on the train. I mean, jump in when you want to, matey. But yeah, look, Leeds, much better place. We're a lot happier, aren't we? Marching on together, marching through the train as you were a few minutes ago, Arron, marching on together. Welcome along to you. I hope the connection's okay, mate. And good evening to the, LNER staff that you're on the train with.
They're coming down now, yes. Hello. How are you?
Hello, a good connection on the train as well. Fabulous. How's the journey going?
I just stopped off at Grantham or wherever I am. I don't know.
Oh, Grantham.
We're back up north. Well, no, I think so. I don't know.
Grantham is actually where... I know Grantham well, actually, yes. But Arron does look like he is... driving the train. Have you got a new job, Arron, driving a train?
No, not at all. No, it's great, isn't it? Hang on.
It's a very good service.
So, what were you saying?
Well, we're talking about, our sort of minds have been changed, haven't they, Arron? Certainly since the last couple of home games. I know definitely after the City game, mate, you were very much like, and I was blowing me top, as you always do, threaten to show the viewers some of my messages that come through after the games. And I was very frustrated after the City match, I must admit. I really was.
Ready?
Yeah, I was disappointed. Doesn't really, could it? Because I thought we could have had something there, and we blew it in the last minute. We worked so hard to get back in it. Anyway, I think you were very much farking. You give him chance, and before that, you were very much get him out. And after half a football match, you were much get him in. It's all right. It's fine. Obviously, how are you feeling after those 2 games? You attended it, Arron. How do you feel? How have you seen those last couple of home games?
Yeah, so listen, we've done all right here for the last couple of games of Leeds, and you look at what they've done, the way the change in formation has worked. Fark has really, he's really got it going, and if he can, I think the key thing here is now, George, is reflect, looking at the next stages. Brentford's massive, Sunderland's massive, Palace is massive. Those 3 games are for nothing if he doesn't get results like he did against Palace, Brentford. Brentford's a tough game, by the way. It's not going to be easy, but we're coming up against these mid-table teams. I know Sunderland are flying high, Palace are flying high, but they've got to turn those into positive results. You can't just do it. Michael, I'm travelling home. So I didn't want to miss it.
He's travelling home for Christmas. Yeah, so
with a Madrid. So
on the beer, crikey, it's all right for some. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Arron, mate. I mean, I think for one time we are in agreement here that I think we can't get too excited. I was listening to you and Jerry on the match reaction, the day afterwards, and I think we're all in a bit of an agreement by saying really that it's all well and good getting these points at home to like Chelsea, Liverpool. It's easy for us to get up for those games at Ellen Road. Everybody loves a night game at Ellen Road. It's great. Atmosphere was tremendous. My brother, who's a Liverpool fan, he texts me saying, these celebrations are tin pot. I said, look, come on. You were the champions of the Premier League. You've got to understand it was a last minute equaliser. We you have to enjoy. But I think we have to now back them up. The 3 games coming. Brentford's a tricky one away, but the Sunderland, you would say maybe we can get something out of that. And then the middle, the sandwich, the filling in the sandwich is Crystal Palace at home. They're doing really, really well as well. So, but for me, these are 3 winnable games because the 2 following that, or the 3 following that, mate, are very, very difficult. Liverpool, Man United, and Newcastle all within the space of a week is very, very difficult. So, it's now. That's why I say, for me, Fark is still on the.
It's worth mentioning. Yeah, well, he's turned it around. He was under pressure. He's turned it around. He's getting points on the board. Liverpool for me was a great result. I've never seen Ellen Road rock like that for a draw, and it felt like a win. And that's the key thing: get the momentum there from that game. I said this with Jerry the other day: is that if we continued that momentum, I think Leeds would have gone on and won that game. If we'd have played another 3 or 4 minutes, I think we'd have gone and got the winner. But as I say, the key thing what we need to do is maintain this positivity. Keep that momentum up and getting points. And 3-5-2 is falling on it and it's working. It's clearly working, and that's the key thing here.
Oh, it really is. And Michael says here, I still think Fark prefers a 4-3-3 system, but because the 3-5-2 system has yielded positive results, he kind of sticking with the system for now. If he abandoned the system when Leeds were losing, I think that Fark just sees that it is working. That is the way to play. I think we all knew this. Look at it. Play the two big guys up front, and get the width on the football pitch, and play it like that. Be dirty and be in people's faces and that's what we did against Liverpool. It was bang. The second.
The Liverpool, if you look at both games, Chelsea were more up for it. There were more physicality in the Chelsea game. Look at the Liverpool game. They played 3 big boys in the space of a week, and that's difficult. It's really, really difficult. Liverpool were clearly disappointed with the draw, but they got they crumbled. They thought they were home and dry, 2-0 up, and they threw it away. They really did.
Well, they were cursing Konate, wasn't they? Because I don't know what he was doing there, Arron. Just scythed down Willie Gnonto when he was going out of play, and you thought, we're back in it here. It was a nice penalty from Calvert-Lewin, and then couple of minutes later, they, like you said, they just crumbled at Liverpool. They did go back in front, but they couldn't sustain that. And even you're looking at it thinking, Christ, we're 3-2 down with a few minutes to go. You still didn't give up the hope that we would get something, and obviously we did in the end. And what scenes to follow, but we definitely. The thing is, Aaron, if you don't back it up with points in either of these next three, for me, he's out the door again. And would you say, because
no, you've got a bit of a cushion now. It's a 2-point cushion over 18th position, and I think if you can continue that point per game, you've got a couple of games now where you need to pick up 3 points to kind of keep you on that trajectory of a point per game. So he's bought himself time. You've got to remember as well, January's fast approaching, which we all know, and Leeds have got to strengthen. I just hope that they don't think, we'll be all right now to the end of the season by keeping the Metcher and Dominic Calvert-Lewin going, because I still think we have quality. That 10 is something which we're still crying out for. We're still crying out for a 10-goal season striker. We still need more quality in the park. So the key thing for me is when you're looking at recruitment, if you've got players who see Leeds at 15th, 14th in the league, it makes it a bit easy to say, we're going to be fine. But if you're in 18th position in January, it's really difficult.
Well, it is, Aaron. I mean, let's talk about some of the transfer rumours that I've seen over the last week. And you say we need a striker, and I would expect that we will get at least a striker in one. I think we'll probably get 2, January signings in, depending on obviously how these next couple go. But for me, I think the striker is paramount, because Nemetcha and Dominic Calvert-Lewin both have injury problems. DCL has got 3 goals in 3 games, but he could be, a game away from an injury. Nemetcha also does seem a very sketchy, injury record as well. So I think we need to back this up. Okafor is not the answer as the other striker. He's definitely better out on the wing. So, Michael's saying we need a number 10. I also would agree that would give us another way of playing that we haven't currently got.
But and I think if they were going to target something, that would be it. That would be the aim. If we're going to play, if you're going to have a gamble on this, 10 would probably be the one.
Oh yes, distraction, Aaron, there from yourself. But I think number 10 is the one really. Like you said, I think it gives us a different way of playing. And we do have a striker, Michael, in Perot.
Touching on it's the quality.
Yeah,
George. If he was a proven quality Premier League striker, he would be playing week in, week out, but he's not.
Oh, he, of course, he'd be absolutely fabulous, wouldn't he? Scoring goals for fun, but he hasn't scored a goal yet. He hasn't really had many minutes. And Michael, I'll pose a question to you, mate. Do you think Perot is the answer as that third striker? Because I don't think Okafor is. He will play out on the wing when needed, but Perot definitely not. For me, Perot, I think we'd be silly to let him go, but I feel like we need to add onto the pool of strikers that we've already got, because 2 are injury prone. They're scoring goals at the moment, but they've had long spells in the season where they haven't. And then, Mr. Joel Perot is just not proven at this level. He's proved it already in these games that he's played. He's not good enough to be in the Premier League, clearly, for me. And until we get better quality, then we have to deal with that. But in January, we will add the quality. I already know this. But Michael says Leeds United have a striker who is scoring goals for fun in the Championship. Hull City in Joe Gelhardt Joffe. He looks like a striker reborn, plus I think he has a recall in his loan deal. Arron, what do you think about Mr. Gelhardt?
I think he's past his time. I think he needs to move on. And I know he's doing well. If he's going to go at the end of the season, I'm afraid. So cash in if they can, but he will just see his time out and Hull City will not come back.
Yeah, Gelhardt's never going to come back, Sally Michael. I think he's done. He's got a home in Hull and he's playing football and they're doing quite well. I think he scored. He scored at the weekend, maybe again. I know they're doing what they won again last night. I think did Hull, so they're into like the playoff positions. I can't see why he'd come back. They've made a couple of clangers, obviously in the transfer window, not buying enough, letting players out that shouldn't have been let go of, like Sir Ramazani, who could have probably done a job as well. But yeah, look, we're in for a couple of players, couple of little tasty rumours that I've seen over the last couple of days, a week or so. One is Jimenez from AC Milan, which does seem a little bit difficult to get done. And the other is the lad from Barcelona who plays as a 10, Rooney, the Swedish lad, who scored at the weekend. And we are apparently in for this man on loan. So there's one or two more. 20-year-old Swedish international. So there's that sort of ilk of player, Arron, that we're going for. You're shaking your head, or it might be train swaying. I don't know. What's your thoughts on these ones? A bit of turbulence, is it, on the train?
Complete nonsense. That's what it is.
Yeah, you think so? Well,
complete bollocks. Listen, we don't need to be going for those types of players. We need to be proven Premier League quality. You don't want to be going for these potentials. The young players, don't want that. You need a bit of quality in there. Not, these could be all right in a couple of years. You need quality now. Not what could be what not. It's all nonsense.
So so thinking about it, then obviously you say it's nonsense, but we've got the game on Sunday. We've got the game on Crystal Palace at Ellen Road a week on Saturday, and then we've got what is it, Sunderland, and then it's the new year, isn't it? So we've got 3 games before the January transfer window opens. I believe if Farke doesn't get any points out of these 3 games, I think you're never far away from a disaster, are you? And I do worry, and this is the worry that I have, Arron, here, is that it's the Jesse Marsch moment at Anfield again, where if you remember this back to when this happened, we beat Liverpool and we beat Bournemouth and we got 6 points. This time we've beat Chelsea and we've drawn with Liverpool 4 points, very good. But is it papering over the cracks, and are we now all getting very excited just off a couple of results that are kind of outliers in the whole season? Because if we don't get any points at Brentford, which is highly likely for me, regardless of who the manager is, they're a very good, well-run side, and we don't have a good record there at all. For me, Farke is under pressure still. And Michael says he's been linked. Leeds have been linked to Fabio Carvalho of Brentford, having previously been linked to him before. Oh, Fabio Carvalho, yeah, okay, the Portuguese lad played for Liverpool. But see, that wouldn't be a bad signing, would it? You know what I mean? I mean, he's been seemingly frozen out at Brentford, hasn't he, for some reason?
There you go. You got a bit of quality there. You got a little bit of quality, Premier League experience as well, and that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you'd welcome that, wouldn't you? Well, a very Premier League quality is needed. That's what we need all the time. But for me, like, in the comments, get in there in the comments, and let us know. Because for me, I think Daniel Farke is. You need to go in the next 3 games. You need to get at least 2 wins for me. Otherwise, you're under a little bit of pressure. Because, how many points would you say we're going to get out the next few, Arron? Because Brentford,
4.
You think 4, you think that's fine. I think 4 is probably okay, isn't it? Because
anything else is a bonus. If you get 4 points, you're still going to be ahead of that points per game. You're absolutely on track to get to 38, 40 points. And that's the goal.
Yeah, the goal is like 40 points in it generally. I mean, as you know, I love the Brazilian league, and it came to an end on Sunday. And one the team that 4 of them that get relegated, The team that got relegated were on 43 points. So that seems like quite a lot to get relegated on. And if we were to get 43 points, you'd think we'd be sort of 14, 13, something like this. But to be honest, like the way that we're playing, that's the way that Leeds United need to play. Get points, but it's a completely different. It's a completely different scenario away from home. And if you can't go there and at least get a point, then I would be kind of disappointed.
Form doesn't keep you in the league, George. You've got to remember that. It doesn't keep you in the league.
But that doesn't keep him in the job either, does it? You know what I mean? You've got to say, if we don't get, you've got to have at least. I mean, if we lost all three of these games, Arron, say for example, would you still, would you still go with Fark, or would you decide to make a change?
It's pointless changing it now because you've got January coming up, you've got recruitment and things like that. It's pointless in changing anything.
This is.
And we've got 23 games left. Remember.
Is that how many we've got left? Yeah, we've played 15, haven't we? So,
season.
Yeah, we're nearly there, aren't we?
All they need to do is just win 7 games. That's it.
7 games, but how many have we won all together at the moment? 4?
Something like that, yeah. I don't know. I've got the table in front of me.
From 50, I think we've won 4, haven't we? So, and we've had 3 draws. That sounds about right. And I just think, I'm just not sold on it just yet. You can't get too excited. We had some good results. I mean, look, fabulous at Liverpool on, Ellen Road on Saturday night. The Chelsea game was great, but it's easy to get up for those games. I think, easy to get up for them. Big full house at Ellen Road under the lights. Massive rivalry between Leeds and Chelsea. Then you've got the Liverpool game. But can you do it on a Sunday afternoon against Brentford? Can you back it up on a Saturday night against Crystal Palace? Can you go to these places and can you get results against the teams that are a little bit easier in inverted commas? Can you go and do that? Because if you can't, then you just got to ride on the back of the wave, and everybody's positive in the club at the moment about those 2 results. Keep it going into Brentford, regardless of our record there. Go and channel your inner Rafinha with that penalty or whatever. We had that lovely win there, didn't we? That kept us in the Premier League that time. And think about that. Go in there and getting something. Don't be embarrassed like we did last time there. And just, it's such a hard place to go, is Brentford, really. They've scored, I think, 3 goals, at least 3 goals in the last 3 home matches. So, they seem to like scoring. Thiago, they seem to get a penalty most games, don't they? We've got to watch out in the penalty boxes. But I do think that, given our record there, given everything else that we're riding off the back of a couple of really good results, I think we can go there and be really positive, Arron. And I would really like to see them be positive, play aggressive football, and just go there and do your best. And I think we can win the points there as well if we can win that. And like I said to you guys the other night, I'm not bashing Fark anymore, but I'm still a little bit skeptical in terms of if we can back it up, basically.
You're right, and that's the proof will be in the pudding on Sunday.
Pudding? Are you having any pudding on the train, Arron?
No, just another Madrid.
Oh man, it's a liquid food, is it? Michael, I did watch the Libertadores final. Yeah, it was a bit of a boring one, wasn't it? Between Flamengo and Palmeiras. Obviously, Flamengo won. Flamengo won the double. Flamengo won the league as well. It's all finished now for another year. Michael, again, if Leeds United can keep DCL and Mecha fit, they have a chance of staying up. Both strikers have fitness doubts for the weekend. I am led to believe. Okay, this is a point as well, Aaron, because like we were saying just now, DCL and Nemecha hit the goals, haven't they? Nemecha, all of his goals are scrappy ones, but they've gone in the net and we'll take it. But that's the point. You know, what you're going to go with if those guys get injured, both of them, say, for Brentford, what, Perot and Okafor up front? Will he then be forced to change it back to a system that really doesn't fit the way that we play? So how are we gonna temper that? How do you think they will line up?
It depends. It depends. It's same again. It's just same again. And I think this time they've had that little bit more time to rest and recover, work on things in training, and kind of perfect that 3-5-2. If they do that, you know, and it works, it's going to be fine. But as you say, Brentford's going to be a tough one. Thiago as well, cracking striker. I think is he top scorer, one of the top scorers in the Premier. I don't know. He's up there on there. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
I believe Thiago's second top scorer behind Haaland, Aaron. He's got a lot of penalties. Like I said, they do like the penalty merchants, aren't they? They seem to get penalties all the time. And regardless, like I said, of who the manager is, we know Keith Andrews is definitely not very experienced, but the players that they've got in there that they keep being able to attract, you know, the good quality players, they're a good side, they're well drilled. And like I said, they do score goals. It's not just Thiago, it's a couple of the more of them. And again, a Brazilian striker. I think he came from, Grêmio, maybe. I can't remember where he came from. But Richard, good evening to you, mate. No problem. There is no detention, although I don't know if Mr. Marshall will give it out. Maybe he will. And you say, Richard says 2-2 to Brentford and Leeds, 2 apiece. And I think that would be a fair result. I think most of us would take a point, wouldn't we, really, at the end of the day? And, travel back to Leeds with it, as Arron is doing at the moment. Travelling back to Leeds on the train. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. I think the connection has gone there, and it will bring him back in. Connection issues, was it, Arron? Yes, I think it was. But I don't know whether he can hear us. Can you hear us, Arron? No, I don't think he can. But we know we don't like London, really, Richard. We can't really seem to get anything going. When was the last time we won in London? Because I think we did win a game. Surely we won one last season in London. I can't remember. I know we played QPR, didn't we? That was a draw. But I don't remember what the other games ended up being. So who knows? But yeah, we're I don't know what he's doing, Michael. I think the connection has gone. But yeah, that's a real shame. But Leeds beat Watford last season. Yes, we did. Yes, yeah. See, I think London is always a difficult one, isn't it? To be able to travel tough as Leeds, it seems to be, and I don't know why. Really, it's a bit of a psychological thing at this point, probably. But for me, on the back of what we've been doing the last couple of games, is definitely a winnable game, and I think we can bring them in. If we can bring them in closer to, to us, if we win, we're a point behind them. We're bringing them back into the sort of relegation situation. And Fulham, like I said, Richard, if we, we lost at Fulham, didn't we, early on in the season? Arron, is there too many drinks, too many madras going on in the connection gone? Did you go under a tunnel, did you?
The Wi-Fi's a bit dodgy. So I'll leave you to continue with what.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, no problem. You enjoy your madras and enjoy the train journey. Yeah, have a good journey, won't you?
Oh,
And
it says George, we'll be back properly next week. We're going to have to because we're going to be contract to keep bringing this show. We've got to keep doing yourself doing it. Don't kick everybody off. Give us a long LNR.
yes, well, I mean, absolutely. Like Arron says, if you manage to make that out, the connection very, very poor. But if you manage to make that out, that we have got some news about potential a step up with a podcast. But we will, I think, keep everybody posted as we go. As we go in and these things get firmed up. But there is exciting things happening for the podcast right now. As Arron has departed. But Leeds, Michael, Leeds can get something from Brentford apart from Arsenal, Brighton and Forest results. Leeds have been in matches. That's the point, isn't it? Every single time, every single game, really, we've been involved in it. We haven't, other than Arsenal, like you said, where we got smashed. Brighton was a poor one. Again, Forest was... We just collapsed, didn't we? We couldn't hold the lead for long, and then it just went wrong. But other than that, we're competitive, and that's all you can ask of them, really. I just think that I think fans get a little bit frustrated, me included. Where you look at the game and you think, oh, another narrow defeat, another goal conceded in the last minute to lose the game or draw the game or whatever. And if you look at the amount of goals that we've conceded in the last 15 minutes of matches, it would be quite astonishing how many points we will have dropped. So that's the point, really. It's really frustrating when you look at that. We could be so many more points, even 2 or 3 points better off would make a hell of a difference at this stage in the season. So that's what really frustrates me. But like I said, I'm not completely on the sort of the Farkin sort of wagon now. I think, if we win at Brentford, I think I definitely will be. But I'm just a little bit cautious at the time of, can we go there? Can we go there and get something? If we can, then that's absolutely fabulous. And Richard says, we have shown what we can do against these top sides now. So as long as we compete, we could get a result. Exactly, mate. We compete. The top sides, Brentford, no disrespect to them, are not a Liverpool or Chelsea or whatever. They have quality players, but we've shown over the last couple of games that we can compete with the best of them. Chelsea are having a good season. They were coming off the back of 7 games unbeaten before they rolled up Telling Road last week and lost. Liverpool, I know, are in a bit of a downward turn at the moment, and obviously Mo Salah has taken all the headlines, hasn't he, off that Leeds game. We still competed. We still, man for man, they have absolute quality within their side, and we deterred them and we cancelled them out for the most part. I mean, to be honest with you, the defensive lapses are frustrating me as well, because the goals we conceded in that Chelsea game, that Neto goal was poor, and also so were the goals on Saturday. Really, the only real good quality one was Szoboszlai, wasn't it? And the other 2 that were conceded were really, really sloppy. And we've got to cut out conceding goals at the start of the half. I mentioned further, a little while ago, of course, in the 34 minutes we've been going, that my brother is a Liverpool fan, and he was, he said, the quality of this is just not. It's just not good, and I said to him at halftime, I said, you'll score early in the second half, and you'll win the game 2-0. I mean, obviously that was the case at one point in the match. It was 2-0. Obviously, we thankfully came back, and in the end, we managed to salvage something from the game. Brentford, I'm not sure, Richard, if they have. I know obviously Sunderland, by the time that we end up playing them, they will have quite a number of players out for AFCON. I'm not sure, or there might not be many. There might be one or two, but I don't think it really affects them too much. The likes of like Thiago and them lot, I'm sure will be playing. Like I said, he's on heavy form, isn't he, at the moment? So yeah, that's definitely one to watch. But yeah, we'll seeing as it's me by myself, I will just ask you guys, 10 of us watching, give me your score prediction for the Brentford game, as we will wrap it up in the next sort of 10 minutes, I think. Because yeah, we're on a zone, and there's not many people in here at the moment. So if you would, in the comments there, give me your thoughts on the Brentford game, the score prediction. If you like, are you going to Brentford down to London on Saturday to watch the boys play? And how would you expect it? What do you expect from Brentford and the Brentford scenery? Are you making a weekend of it, perhaps? Going down there in London over the weekend. Give me your comments there and your thoughts. But like I said, the podcast is seemingly being elevated now. So it's on Sunday, isn't it, Richard? Sorry, the game is 4:30 on Sunday, isn't it? So yeah, so maybe some people are going down Friday, having a nice day in London Saturday, going to the game Sunday, who knows? What about getting somebody in like Raheem Sterling as a possible January window signing? He's not getting any game time at Chelsea. I don't even know. Raheem Sterling's still at Chelsea, is he, Michael? Gosh, I mean, I don't think he's played at all this season. I'd be surprised if he was even registered for the Premier League, for their Premier League squad. I mean, the only sort of stumbling block would be obviously wages. Would he want to drop as far as down to where we are in the Premier League? Obviously, he's been used to fighting at the top. Obviously, was it last year? Was it only last season he was on loan at Arsenal? Or was that the year before? And obviously being at City before, Liverpool, would he want to drop down to the likes of ourselves to get game time? I mean, he might have to, mightn't he? I mean, or is he okay just to sit and have his cake and eat it and not get anywhere near the matchday squad at Chelsea? I don't know. Brentford have beat Man United, Liverpool at their home ground. Yeah, exactly. They're a tasty team at the G-Tech, aren't they, Brentford? Like I said, they've only lost once there all season. That was to Man City in an Arron 1-0 defeat. They've scored 3 goals at least in the last 3 home games. So yeah, they're the handful in their own stadium, like I said, regardless of who the manager was. He does need game time, Sterling. It was only last season he was on loan at Arsenal. Gosh. So yeah, he's obviously not got a club, and he's got a club, Chelsea, but he's not playing. And is he happy just to sit on the bench or sit in the stands and get his wage packet? He must be 30 or 31 now, Raheem Sterling. No, sorry, he's a bit older than that. No, is he 20? Actually, no, it's about 28, is he, Michael Sterling? So he's kind of prime. I mean, that would be a great signing for me. I've always kind of liked Sterling. I thought he always poses a bit of a threat, but to just sit at Chelsea and not be, it's just wasted, isn't he? So if we could, manoeuvre loan or something for the end of the season for him, I mean, that would do nicely. But I think we need to buy somebody permanently as well, don't we? We need strikers. Forward players are definitely on the brains. Hopefully, Brentford Brazilian striker Igor looks a handful. He is already in double figures this season. He is. Igor Thiago, yeah, he is. He's a real handful. Obviously, spent most of the season out injured last time, and he's come back with vengeance, making up for lost time. They've got Gustavo Gomes as well at Brentford, another Brazilian player, arrived from Grêmio as well. last season, but he's also been injured. They haven't really seen much of him either. And this is what I mean. Regardless of who the manager is, obviously Keith Andrews is very inexperienced, and I think that everybody when he got appointed was a bit like, oh, flipping heck, they're going down. But I think you underestimate it, that they are a good set of players there. They know the drill. Keith Andrews was on the coaching staff with Thomas Frank before he left for Tottenham last season, so there was that synergy, that cohesion as well in appointing him as well. Everybody did laugh, and they might still go down. Obviously, they're not that far in front of us. Like I said, we would go within a point of them if we win on Sunday. But yeah, for me, yeah, Thiago's a real handful, big lad, and he scores a lot of penalties. Hopefully, if we don't steady in the box and don't give any of them away, because he will put them in if he's given the opportunity. And yeah, they've never been like standout players. I know they had Mbuemo and Visa, didn't they, last season, who scored bags of goals. But other than that, they're very much a Brighton mould, aren't they? Buy players and build them up, not big name players, but it's more of the team is a sum of its parts. They do their own job. Everybody knows the job within the team, and it works to success with them. And obviously, I thought they might struggle this time round, but they might be lower end of the table. But I always think they'll probably be okay, given the way the season's gone so far. Maybe Michael Hamer, yeah, possibly. Always seem to flirt with him, don't we? At the moment. And the Fulham pair, Wilson and Muniz, who Leeds have been linked with, could be additions in January window at reduced price. I think Wilson's a difficult one. Obviously, they went for him on the deadline day. He's been scoring a few goals, hasn't he? I think he, might have added maybe 5+ million onto his price tag since we tried to get him. Muniz, I believe, is injured. I don't know whether he's injured to the end of January, Michael. So I don't know whether he'll be. I don't think he'll be a goer, but he hasn't made the impact as maybe Fulham would have wanted in the season so far. Obviously, got injured. Need to improve on the away record. Only points was the win at Wolves. Yeah, it's an atrocious away record, and that's the point. That's the point as well. Can you get away from, because we all know Ellen Road is bouncing, it's raucous, it's very easy for the lad to get up for a game at Ellen Road, particularly at the nighttime games, as obviously most of them are at some part, as we are in the dead of winter now. But nighttime games at Ellen Road just hit something different, don't they? And it's easy to get up for them, particularly when we're up against the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool, that sort of ilk of opposition. But I think when you go away to Brentford, you go away to Sunderland, the ones coming up, that's your bread and butter of the Premier League. That's where you've got to pick up points, and away form really, really, really does have to improve. You can stay up with an atrocious away form and an impeccable home form. I think we saw it with Forest the other season. Steve Cooper, I think they won 2 games all season away from home. The majority of the wins came at home, and they managed to stay up. So it isn't an exact science that, if your away form is bad, you're going to get relegated. But we do need to pick up odd points here and there away from home and odd wins here. And this would be a fabulous, time to start, really. Ampadu and Bogle are both on 4 yellow cards, another booking for them. Then it's a 1-match ban, exactly, and Farke's got to take that into account as well. Obviously, Ampadu, there's, you might go with Gruev if you want to protect Amps, but for me personally, you want Ethan to be playing, and obviously he's a captain. He's going to be combative. He always is. If there's an opportunity where, unfortunately, he picks up a yellow card, then that's you've got to take that chance. I think Bogle's the same. He's so important to the way that we play and the new system that we're playing in the 3-5-2 on that right side. That a yellow card for him, and I think we're okay if Bogle does get suspended. I think because we've got the wingers. He could just stick a winger on that wing. I know you've got to do the defensive work as well, but I don't know, he likes the idea of Jack Harrison done to at left wing back. Or right wing back. It'd have to be right wing back, wouldn't he? So maybe go just to, put an out-and-out winger on that right side and just, track back a little bit. Willie Gnonto's good at tracking back into his, does the defensive work quite well. So maybe it would be a change that he'd bring Willie in for Bogle if he was to get a yellow card. But yeah, we're going to have to wait and see, aren't we? And see what Sunday brings. But yeah, that's what we're going to have to do. I will leave it there. And I will say, like I said, like Arron, I think the message was construed in sort of the Wi-Fi situation. We do have exciting news coming potentially for the podcast. So stay tuned with that. There's, it's elevating itself, which is absolutely excellent. I would rather see a natural defender in Bogle like James Justin. Yeah, exactly. Justin probably might go with Justin, might he? Can do the defensive work on that right side if needs be, if he does get suspended. No bother, Michael. Yeah, you enjoy your evening, mate. Thank you, man. And we'll be back again, like Arron said, we'll be back to normal next Thursday. Me and himself, and I'm sure he'll be back in his usual chair rather than that train seat. But safe journeys to him on his way back from London this evening. Thank you for joining us. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to. Thanks a lot. Marching on together. And we'll see you on the next one. Let's have a win. Sunday Leeds. Come on, let's do it again.